America, the land of the free, is facing a growing threat: political violence. This isn't just about disagreements, it's about using force to silence opponents and undermine our democracy. From heated rhetoric to outright attacks, the escalation is alarming. We need to understand this trend and its potential to unravel the very fabric of our nation. This isn't a partisan issue, it's about the core values of our democracy. When violence becomes a tool to achieve political goals, everyone loses. The right to disagree peacefully is fundamental, and we can't let fear and intimidation stifle that right. We've seen this trend before in our history, and it never ends well. Ignoring it or dismissing it as someone else's problem only allows it to fester and grow. We must confront this head-on, as Americans united against violence. It's time for a reality check. Political violence is a threat to our nation's soul. We must act now to protect the values we hold dear. The future of our democracy depends on it. The attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump sent shockwaves across the nation. This horrifying event, along with other recent incidents, has brought the issue of political violence into sharp focus. These acts of violence are not isolated incidents, they are symptoms of a deeper problem, a growing climate of intolerance and hostility in our political discourse. The attack on Paul Pelosi, the husband of former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, in his own home, is another chilling example. This wasn't just an attack on an individual, it was an attack on our democracy itself. These events should serve as a wake-up call. We can't afford to become numb to this kind of violence. We must condemn it in the strongest possible terms and work together to find solutions. One of the root causes of the rise in political violence is the increasing polarization of our society. We've become more divided than ever, retreating into our own echo chambers and demonizing those who hold different views. This division is fueled by a number of factors, including economic inequality, social media, and the 24-hour news cycle. The result is a toxic political environment where compromise is seen as weakness, and violence is seen as a legitimate tool to silence opponents. This polarization has real-world consequences. It makes it harder to address important issues facing our country. It erodes trust in our institutions and in each other, and it creates a breeding ground for extremism and violence. We need to find ways to bridge the divide and have constructive conversations about the issues that matter. This starts with listening to each other with respect, even when we disagree. Social media, while a powerful tool for connection, has also become a breeding ground for extremism and radicalization. Algorithms designed to keep us engaged often trap users in echo chambers, reinforcing existing biases and feeding them a steady diet of misinformation. These online spaces can become incubators for hate and violence, normalizing extreme views and desensitizing individuals to the suffering of others. The anonymity of the internet can embolden individuals to engage in behavior they would never consider offline. The spread of conspiracy theories and disinformation online further exacerbates the problem. These narratives often target specific groups, fueling distrust and animosity towards them. Social media companies have a responsibility to address the spread of hate and extremism on their platforms. We need stronger regulations and enforcement mechanisms to hold these companies accountable.